So I have some new friends. There's actually a lot of these butterflies around right now. There goes another one. Hey, let's go on an adventure. Beautiful day. So here we are once again at my favorite little spot. Hop. Hop. Look how beautiful it is out here. Alright, I need to get over there. Don't exactly remember how I got there. We made it. Let me just say, I love these shoes. Shout out to Vibram. Boom. Much better. Yeah, it's like 60-some degrees, 65. Wearing my Totoro tank top. How can I not come here every day? So amazing. It's always nice to get out. It honestly only takes like 5 minutes to get here. I just look how clear this water is. Honestly, it reminds me, like this spot right here reminds me of Northern California where I used to live. And just being in like the redwoods. Just so peaceful and calm. This is how we're living right now. Chilling on a tree. For a local experience, it doesn't get much better than this. This is why people fly out to come to Alaska. Just like, but this is a locals only spot. Locals only. Locals only, man. That's what I was sitting on. Found this animal trail. Look how beautiful that is. Got the flowers and the water. Definitely a trail a moose or a bear would walk. But yeah, it was a nice, I spent about an hour out here. Wow, lots of thorn bushes. Using no hands right now. Really thankful to know about this spot. Look at all these, there's a whole bunch of butterflies waiting to get back in my van. Peace. So it is a different day. Same clothes. Shout out to Totoro. I wanted to talk about, since I'm here once again at same beautiful location, pretty secluded, being alone but not being in the state of loneliness. And I feel like this is really huge for the nomadic life or van life or whatever, just like a life with a lot of travels, or you're just trying to live a certain alternative lifestyle. You know, you might be like a vegan in a super small town, and not only is it hard to get vegan food, you know, or vegetarian food or whatever, but it's also hard to find like a vegan or vegetarian or plant-based type community, you know. And you might, or whatever, you know, you could put the alternative in whatever situation, and you might always feel like, dang, I'm really lonely, you know. You might be like a mountain biker and you might just mountain bike all the time by yourself, you know, not because you really want to, but you just always find yourself biking by yourself. And it's not easy to just like, go on meetup.com and just find a group and just, maybe you just are looking for the right individual or right individuals to do something with. And like for me, I feel like living in the vehicle for the past few months, I have been alone a lot, rather than like work or, service type interactions like getting gas or going to a gas station, uh, getting food, talking with like the clerks and stuff. Like some days I don't really even socialize, much at all. And then at work, I'm so busy or focused on something, especially where I'm a cook. I don't have any time to talk to people. It's almost annoying to have to talk. But regardless, like while I'm out here in nature, I am technically alone, but I don't really feel lonely. Um, Even for a while, I feel like I've kind of been kind of like a loner of sorts, just because I just feel like I have a lot of things that satisfy myself. Um, at the end of the day, I think like I never even get as much as I want accomplished, as I needed to. I would need to take like 2 weeks off to do all the activities that I really like to do all the time. You know, um, but I feel like, especially growing up, you just gotta kind of deal with it. It's like when you're younger, you're used to always having friends around, always hanging out, always going out here, doing that. Hey, let's go play basketball with these six other guys. It was a lot more social. But as I started doing travels and only really being in apartments or stuff for like just a year or so, and then moving, uh, it's like kind of harder to create, you know, really long-lasting relationships. Like I'm thankful that I do have quite a handful full of like good friends, kind of scattered through the country. But I don't know. I feel like you just got to stay focused, and you really got to stay, like I always say, like you really got to stay positive, because that's what's gonna get you through whatever situation you're in. You gotta stay peaceful, because people know and love you for just not being, like a hothead or something crazy. You gotta keep your mind cool. You gotta stay productive. You gotta keep doing things that that just have value in the universe. You gotta put your part in, regardless who you are, where you're at. You know, Everyone is worthy. Everyone is of great value. On a level that we can't even calculate. You got to stay progressive. You got to keep evolving. You got to keep updating who you are. You got to do things for like a reason to build. That's why we're here on this planet, in this universe. It's not just to be even if you're just static. Even if you feel like you're just a pool of just mundane energy, you still are once again of great value, and you got to just keep pushing yourself, and you got to stay proactive. um just like with that's like that focused mind of doing something, with willpower. And like these things just make loneliness like even a positive thing, because you might be socializing and interacting with a lot of people, but you guys are doing negative things, or you're just wasting time. You're just sitting around like hours and hours of banter, and you know what I mean. And are we with our friends and with our loved ones, are we actually building towards a more progressive future? And it's not to make life seem so serious, but it's just a different perspective on just like human socializing. And even if you do find yourself alone, like make the best out of it. Just me personally, like I have so much music to create. I have so much to read and to learn and to implement. Lots of activities that I just want to fine tune and be better at. Especially just individually for me, like staying fit. Going to the gym. Uh, Sometimes I gotta chill on the mountain bike, because every time I go to the trails, it's like 7 to 10 miles, and I can't drain myself out too much. And just like this van in general, keeping it clean, keeping it maintained, working on upgrades. Like I'm getting a solar panel in a few days, and once it gets here, that's a completely different road I'll be going on. I'll be more self-sustainable. So a lot of these things keep my mind just focused, and I haven't really had much time to just dwell on negative thoughts, negative ideas. And that's really good, like it would be nice, yeah, to have a lot of friends. Like even right now, like I could be socializing and making like handfuls of friends, but it's just like I gotta think too, I mean, you gotta really keep yourself safe, especially like if you're working and living in a vehicle, like you might think it's cool, you too might think it's cool, but it's not the best because your management might not think it's cool, like what if, that's all I could really say, and so I've been really trying to just stay super low key about how I live my life, and trying not to just share with anyone or everyone that, hey, I'm living in my vehicle, like, because you don't want that information to be taken the wrong way. And, if someone told me they lived in a 3-story house, with a pool, I really wouldn't care. You know what I mean? Like, good for you. You know what I mean? So it's just like, as much as if, I've had people tell me that they aren't even living in their own trailer. They're staying at a trailer in a terrible trailer park, with some friend's mom or something, And still, same thing. Like you're doing the best you can, no judgment, and that's that. Like they didn't even have to tell me they live in a trailer park, So it's just like, at the end of the day, as an adult, no one cares like where you live, Like no one cares what you live in. It's really not a big deal, I know lots of friends right now who are balling, who are living great. I could be sleeping in their guest room or something, like, but like none of that really matters. It's just like, it's all up to you how you live your life, and, if you maybe are alone, but you're enjoying yourself, then that's great, I'm about to go stick my feet in some awesome flowing water and just soak up the sun, soak up the trees and the plants and the wind, and yeah, it'd be cool to have, a homie or, a woman who was like attracted to me to do these things with, but like at the end of the day, like it's a win-win, and that's how you have to look at life, it's everything's just a win-win situation. And I've been in really bad times, and that's what a lot of people expressing positive, uplifting advice don't really mention. Like I used to be really negative, when I was really young, like in my teenage years, I've had a lot of anger issues, I used to be a delinquent, and everything was just like a joke, and I didn't really take life seriously. And I never had someone come to me, even my parents, I never really had someone sit down and not want to discipline me and tell me I'm wrong and just like be real with me about the planet, and maybe I should have met someone living in their van when I was like 13 to tell me how life really, it's not like it should be so serious and uptight, but like just put effort into it, and don't always just try and mess with the reality, like respect it. It's like a fun, serious reality, like you can do amazing things, but you just got to put effort into life and not twist and mutilate it, and it's taken a lot of energy and a lot of research and a lot of learning and a lot of patience to really redesign like my emotions and how I perceive life. And I'm just thankful, like if I hadn't put as much energy in, I feel like I've been building up for this moment, Because like van life can be a breeding ground for just negative thoughts, for depression, for whatever else, especially if you don't even have a vehicle and you're homeless. Like, I've had tons of friends who don't even have a place to stay, so they're just crashing at friends' houses and whatever. But you can't make a lifestyle out of like couch surfing. So like that's why this van dwelling thing's great, because you're dependent mainly on yourself, and with the whole survival thing, I think that's where it comes down to, especially when I start traveling. It's just like socializing is cool, but like you can't let it get in the way of your livelihood. And for certain people like me, like I'm just at a point where I'm just rebuilding my social circle, and since I am moving a lot, until like I'm actually really grounded somewhere, I think that's where things, will manifest. Like when I was in California, it was just like a completely different scene, and I was definitely a lot more social. But coming up here to Alaska, like I know no one, and it's really cut off from the rest of the country. So I'm just doing the best I can. But yeah, like that just really is what I have to say about being alone versus being lonely, and this really helps me get a lot of things off my chest, and I'm really thankful, because I'm definitely not lonely, because I get to film these videos, and even if it does seem like I'm ranting, like there's still a core group of people who would like to listen. I try to make this personal, but it's not even about me. It's not about me, and I know there's also a lot of people in similar situations where that can just resonate with this bit of information, And I want to just talk about this before I go back out into my favorite spot at the moment, and I don't want to make it just seem like it's all just sunshine and dandelions. There is, a deeper understanding to what all this beauty even means to me. So thank you for watching and listening. This is Divine Zeal, out in nature, about to just go enjoy life before I gotta go to work every day. But you still gotta find some time to play. Stay peaceful, stay positive, stay progressive, stay productive, and stay proactive, and stay anything else that is just positive vibes. And I promise you, you shall be blessed. Peace. 100% barefoot for this little journey. It's definitely about to get a little muddy. Roll up my pant leg. Just gonna walk through it. Woo! But yeah, this creek just divides into so many different areas. So there's all these little streams and these like mini waterfalls all over. Look at that. Don't try this at home. Woo! I can just put them on this nice little foot bench. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Woo! Some cold water. Don't fall. That's usually where I'm at, sitting on that tree. Just checking out different vantage points. Got the bare feet, getting nice and dirty. Look at that. If your feet ain't that dirty, then you need to get them dirty. Hey, look at this. Here's my feet. There's the water. Crystal clear in about 2.5 hours. But yeah, once again, I am alone right now, but I am not lonely. You know, along a lot of my journeys, I've learned that everything, you know, truly has consciousness at some level, just for it to even just be here, you know. So when you're out in nature, especially barefoot, interacting with the dirt and the twigs and stuff, there's so much going on, you know, and you really can't worry about, you know, always socializing on a human level. You know, there's so much social interaction that goes on this planet. You know, so just a lot to take into. You know, I know you might just walk out into nature and be like, well, I don't really feel that, but you just gotta take it easy. You know, you gotta stop being so hard on yourself. You know, like right now I see a bee pollinating flowers. It's just doing what it's gotta do. You know, and you gotta simplify humanity and not worry too much, you know? I mean, look where I'm at. About to just chill here for a little bit. So peace. Once again, thanks for watching. Just like a 2-day nature vlog. And shout out to everyone giving the positive feedback on the huge thank you and shout out video. It really means a lot. And it really, you know, reinforces that maybe I am doing something positive. So yeah, I'm gonna keep all that up and make sure to keep bringing you along these cool little adventures I go on. Peace. Divine Zero out.